My sister almost married a con artist, and I was the only one who knew. Let me take you back to the beginning. So my sister, Lee, met this guy named Marcus about 8 months before the wedding. Tall, charming, always had the right thing to say. The kind of guy who made you feel like the most important person in the room. She fell hard, faster than I'd ever seen her fall for anyone. I was happy for her at first. I really was. But something about Marcus always made me uneasy. He never talked about his family. His stories would shift in small ways, like one week he grew up in Austin, the next week it was Denver. Little things that didn't add up. My sister called me paranoid. Maybe I was. Then, about 6 weeks before the wedding, I was scrolling a Facebook group for our town, and somebody posted a warning. A woman named Diane. She wrote about a man who had been dating women online, gaining their trust, then convincing them to wire money for a business investment that never existed. She included a photo. It was Marcus. I screenshot everything. I found 2 more women in the comments who said the same thing had happened to them. One lost $8,000. Another lost almost $15,000. I went straight to Lee. She didn't believe me. She said those women were lying. That Marcus had warned her people from his past would try to sabotage their relationship. He had already prepared her for this. That's how good he was. She stopped returning my calls the week before the wedding. Her fiancé had convinced her I was jealous and toxic, so I made a decision. I was going to show up anyway. I bought a guest outfit, printed out everything, the screenshots, the Facebook post, the names of the women, and put it all in an envelope. The ceremony was at a small venue, about 60 guests. I slipped in during seating and nobody questioned me. I sat in the back row. My hands were shaking the whole time. What if I'm wrong? What if I destroy her wedding for nothing? But then the officiant said, if anyone has reason why these two should not be married, speak now. I stood up. The whole room went silent. I walked down the aisle, handed the envelope to the officiant, and said, his name isn't Marcus Webb. And 3 women in this county can tell you exactly who he really is. Marcus bolted. He literally knocked over a flower arrangement and ran out the side exit. All the confirmation anyone needed. Lee didn't speak to me for 3 weeks. I understood. It wasn't just embarrassment, it was grief. She had genuinely loved him. But eventually she called me, crying. She said she found messages on an old email account he'd left logged in on her laptop. He was already running the same scheme on someone new, someone he'd met 2 months into their engagement. She said, you saved me. And that was enough. If something feels off about the person your loved one is with, don't stay quiet. Do the research. Trust the pit in your stomach. The worst case is you were wrong and they're happy anyway. The best case, you show up to a wedding and watch a con man run out the door. Drop a comment if someone ever tried to gaslight you about a red flag. I know I'm not the only one.